Well, waiting on the wife and kids to meet me over here for dinner. And I got a little bit of time to waste. More than a little bit. Just went to Home Depot. And it's called like wire molding, I guess. And you know, for the old crypto cave, I've got the TV against the wall, or mounted to the wall now. But I don't want cords and stuff dangling. You know what I mean? I want to keep it nice and tight. And you know, tight like a tiger. So you get these little moldings with the little peel and stick, you know, adhesive, whatever comes with it, down from the TV, hit down the baseboard, which is white, you know, go down the baseboard to where some of the connectors and things need to go, and then around to my computer for one of the connectors. But so anyways, I've got these little things. Matter of fact, I'll show you one of them since I got it right here. You know, it's slid all the way down, and on the back side you got the peel and stick. You put your cable through there, it sticks against the wall, you know, down by the baseboard, not by the floor. Make it look decent, you know what I mean? It's my little spot, I gotta make it look decent. So I got that sitting over here. It's 5 o'clock. Wife's gonna meet me over here after 5:30. Gotta get the kids at 5:30 down the street. So that's what I'm doing, just hanging out, and I'm thinking, well, I gotta do some videos tonight. And the guy from Handline, remember that ICO, was chatting with me, and you know, I did an interview video with him a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and some other things he wanted. He's like, hey, you know, think I can come back on, and I'm gonna mention a few other things, and yeah, who am I to say no? You know, why not? Didn't really have anything on the old Realist news agenda for tonight. Tonight being Wednesday or Thursday, but so I figured I'll do this video about the Tezos implosion ICO. It appears to be the coin Clif was talking about, the mystery coin. But I want to read you some in-depth stuff about it from Hedge. But then Friday, we are doing the Three Amigos chat. Clif, Bix, myself. Friday, 5-ish, 30-ish p.m. my time. But it ain't gonna be uploaded till Saturday morning, as I always do. So Saturday morning, you'll get your Three Amigos video. And that should be interesting. I think he's got some woo-woo to talk about. This coin he wants to talk about, you know, this Tezos. Should be a really interesting Three Amigos video. So I figured, why not? I'll have the guy from Handline. I'll have this video. And then I've got, you know, essentially one other video to do. And then when I get home, I can do one video plus the Skype with him, and then be done. I can install that little molding and whatnot, get a few things done in the crypto cave. So Zerhead says the world's largest ICO, initial coin offering, is imploding after just 3 months. So, and I saw somebody's comment when I just did the video from Thursday morning saying, hey, the mystery coin, it's Tezos, this is it, you know. Someone's like, oh, why aren't you saying anything about the coin, any details about it, you know, what basically any technical information, nothing. And my reply was simple, and I still stand by it. I don't care anything about it. I don't care what the whole deal is, what it does, what it doesn't do, what it's supposed to do, what their vision is. I don't care on that one. Why? Because all I care about is whatever mystery coin we've been waiting on from Clif High may have just arrived. And that's all I need to know. It's all I need to know. Why? Because if it's that one, it's going to make people filthy rich, but we're going to have to be patient with it. And we also have to let the coin go down in value. Now, get this. Got some emails, read some of the comments. It appears that somewhere roughly 40 to 50 cents per token is where these things was what it was costing, because I guess it was through Bitcoin or whatever they gave them, and at the time Bitcoin was around $2,600 or something. So anyways, the math they're saying was, you know, 40 to 50 cents depending, you know. So what we need to see is it go below that, below 50 cents for sure, and honestly below 40 cents, a good amount below that. And people, well, what I read is that They haven't even issued any kind of coins. Matter of fact, I thought, and I might be about to read it here in Zero Hedge if I recall, they haven't even created the coins, much less distributed them. And they're saying originally we're going to give them out by December. So we're in October, 2/3 of the way through roughly, right? Not even roughly, we're pretty much 2/3 way through October, so we got about 10 days left. Then we're in November, December. Is it possible that this meltdown is going to happen as soon as these coins are distributed and everybody runs for the exit on, say, for example, Ether, Delta, and or any other exchange that they're listed on? Right now, they're on HitBTC, and there's actually another one I didn't hear about. And again, I can't stand sites like that, because exchanges like that, because they allow these, futures contracts. Basically, a derivative, if you will. They don't have the coins. It's simply, hey, we're listing it, have fun with it. Buy at this price, it goes up, I sell off, I come back down. Yet, no one has any. So, they're setting the price. I looked today, what's the price? Oh, it's $1.80. Okay, well, that's $1.80 on the futures market, if you will, of this. HitBTC saying that. What has happened on every single coin that did that on HitBTC? When the coin finally came out and you went there, or anywhere for that matter, to trade the coin, the real coin, it wasn't even kind of close to the price that HitBTC was showing when the future stuff, contracts, or IOUs, if you will, were happening. So we're at $1.80-ish, is what I saw today, down from $2.60. But that's a futures contract. So again, when it actually hits the exchanges, what's going to happen? And if there's this rift that has taken place, when they release those coins, they could plummet massively, because everybody, $232 million worth of investment in there, running for the exits, while you, me, my faithful subscribers are running to the entrances to load the boat as they're unloading. So people are emailing me, how do I get them? How do I get them? You can't get them. Nobody can get them. And like I said, I don't even think they've created the coin, much less distributed it, or getting ready to distribute it. So you're going to have to be patient and wait, plain and simple, and see what happens. So here's some of the story of what the hell happened over there, okay? Zero Hedge. Earlier this summer, Tezos smashed existing sales records in the white-hot, well, he put IPO market, I think he meant ICO market, after the company's pitch to build a better blockchain for cryptocurrencies made it one of the busiest ICOs in the world. As we noted at the time, the company capitalized on that buzz by courting VC firms and other institutional investors with a $50 million token pre-sale. After the company opened up selling to the broader public, demand soared as investors greedily bought up tokens in spite of glitches that threatened to derail the sale early on. By the end of its weeks-long token sale in July, Tezos had sold more than $230 million worth. Today, or now, Tezos is proving that authorities in the U.S. and China were onto something when they decided to crack down on the ICO market, which has become a cesspool of fraud and abuse. To wit, the company's management revealed this week that progress on its vaunted product had stalled as it has struggled to recruit engineering talent, and an acrimonious dispute between several of the company's leading figures has spilled out into the open. So he's about to quote from the Wall Street Journal. I already told you in the other video, I was quoting a thing from Reuters. This is mainstream news. This is a key thing that was supposed to happen. Is that, and it didn't say even mainstream from Clif, the webbot, his data. It was just saying it's going to make the news rounds. You and I are going to hear about it. So I took that as, mainstream may not cover, because I don't even talk about these things. But any of the crypto channels, news sites, we're going to hear about it. We're going to know about it. That's happening for sure. But now they're on mainstream as well. So again, 61% of the data fulfillment has happened, according to Clif. Nothing has even come that close. The next best one was EOS at 18%, I believe. So as the Wall Street Journal reports, a battle between the founders of the company and the head of the Swiss foundation they installed to give it more independence has put most trading of Tezos coins on ice, possibly until early next year. The shakeup started after Tezos founders Arthur and Kathleen Brightman reported the delays in a blog post published Wednesday. But even more alarming, the pair accused John Gevers, the head of a Swiss foundation which oversees their funds, of attempting to overpay himself using the massive pot of investor capital, despite the fact that the company will likely blow through its promised deadline of allocating tokens to buyers by December. That's when they were supposed to be released. The tokens have yet to be created, he says as a side note. They have yet to even be created. In early September, we became aware that the president of the Tezos Foundation, Johan, I think that's how you pronounce that, Johan Gevers, or was that Jevers, because it's a G, but over there, we're going with Gevers, American style, engaged in an attempt at self-dealing, misrepresenting to the council the value of a bonus he attempted to grant himself. We have been working with Tezos Foundation to resolve the matter and have advocated for his removal from the Foundation Council. We are confident in the Council's ability to handle this sensitive matter with care and diligence. In the meantime, Johan's operational role in the Foundation has been suspended, pending an investigation by the Council's auditor. The news sent Tezos futures contracts, trading on BitMEX, although I saw it on HitBTC, an exchange known for its cryptocurrency futures products, tumbling more than 50% as traders unwound bets the project would be launched before the end of the year, as Bloomberg has pointed out. So there's Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal, Reuters, all picking up on this. Tezos struggles underscore the biggest flaw in the ICO market. Investors keep throwing capital at companies hoping to luck into the next Bitcoin, even though most companies don't have a working product, and many have relied on white papers fleshing out their ideas to market their tokens, a strategy that has been surprisingly, or perhaps unsurprisingly, successful. To wit, ICOs have raised more than $3 billion this year, according to Bloomberg, far surpassing PitchBook analysts' expectations of just $1.7 billion by the end of the year. The ICO was run by the Tezos Foundation, which is based in Zug, Switzerland. Most ICOs are built on top of Ethereum's platform. However, the impact on Ether tokens was fleeting, with Ether seeing a slight dip before moving higher earlier Thursday. Under Swiss law, the Tezos Foundation is supposed to be independent of the company that owns the nascent Tezos software. Because of this, the foundation holds all of its funds raised, which have mushroomed to more than $400 million in value because the contributions were made in two cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin and Ethereum, which have appreciated sharply in the past few months. But the battle between the Brightmans and the Gevers is threatening to derail the whole project, according to Reuters. Reuters is also reporting that the Brightmans, who first opened a corporation in Delaware to work on the Tezos code, failed to make certain regulatory disclosures made necessary by Arthur Brightman's employment at Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley, huh? Reuters reviewed a copy of a Tezos business plan from early 2015, which listed Brightman as chief executive. The plan projected that if the company survived 15 years, it would be worth between $2 billion and $20 billion. The budget called for paying Brightman $212,180 in salary by year number 3. In August 2015, Brightman, who was still working at Morgan Stanley, set up a company in Delaware called the Dynamic Ledger Solutions, Inc., or DLS, to develop Tezos. He listed himself as chief executive. The U.S. Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, or FINRA, requires registered securities professionals to provide prior written notice to their employer to conduct outside business activities if there is reasonable expectation of compensation. According to FINRA records, Brightman was registered and did not report any other business activities. Morgan Stanley and FINRA declined to comment. Reuters also revealed that Tezos exaggerated its progress in its early days, following a seed investment by noted VC and blockchain enthusiast Tim Draper. In pitching the story to Reuters, John O'Brien, a principal of Strange Brew, had made claims about Tezos' progress. He wrote, quote, "The application of Tezos, ranging from derivatives settlement to microinsurance, are real and recognized by industry giants. Ernst & Young, Deloitte Lexify, etc. have adopted Tezos in their development environments in the labs, or excuse me, in their development environments and labs. On October 3rd, a spokeswoman for the accounting firm Ernst & Young told Reuters the statement is not correct. EY has not adopted Tezos. A spokesman for Deloitte said Tezos code is one of many technologies we're considering with blockchain, but it's still early stage and we haven't used the technology for a client project. With the Securities and Exchange Commission already having filed the first civil charges against a man who launched 2 ICOs that the agency claims were completely fraudulent. If Tezos were the subject of regulatory action, the company's founders said they chose to base the project in Switzerland because it didn't have too much oversight, or even if it were to collapse in a heap of broken promises, its collapse had the potential to crash the world ICO market. I'm going to raise the BS flag on that last one. Potential to crash the whole ICO market? Not a chance in hell. Then again, given the resilience of other cryptocurrencies, it's difficult to discern whether Tezos might become the ICO equivalent of Mt. Gox, or whether it will ultimately be remembered as a blip. At this point, only one thing is certain. Tezos investors who hope to receive their coins by the end of the year are bound to be disappointed. A little-known Canadian... Oh wait, that's a advertisement. Not reading that. A little-known Canadian company just went public. Nope. Sorry, that's an ad. That's not a part of the story. So that's some of it. They haven't even created the tokens. And one of the things I was reading was that they said, well, we're kind of having trouble finding the a worthy or I guess programmer or developer or developers to come do what we need them to do. We're having trouble sourcing that here in the States or whatever. So that was like one of the setbacks or something like that. So this coin hasn't even been created, much less distributed in December. We're almost into November. They haven't even created the coin. Now that's not to say they couldn't whip up something, get a smart contract out there relatively quickly. I mean, in all honesty, you could literally spend a week with which is a halfway decent team and come up with something really good. And okay, here's our smart contract, and we're going to test it on the test net and all that stuff. Okay, we're ready to go. Honestly, I mean, you could. 2 weeks, easily. So that's a little more to the story. You and I cannot get these coins. Nobody can. The only people who are going to get them are those who've already put in. Once they're released, then they'll get whatever they put in via, how much ETH they got. They'll get the appropriate amount back, or Bitcoin, whatever they got into it, they'll get back the appropriate amount of the coins or tokens. You and I, on the other hand, aren't getting anything unless you were in on the ICO. I'm not. I wasn't. So what and here's the thing. This is one of those instances where it might have been a blessing in disguise to have missed that one. Because if this is the coin Clif thinks it is, and again, he's very confident at this point that it's the one. I don't know if I should say very, but pretty darn confident it's the one. 61% data fulfillment is really good. But you and I are going to have an opportunity, potentially, if they end up getting this coin out and say, okay, hey, update, the coin's coming out, we're going to release it again, we're on track for December. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's January. Maybe it's February. I don't know. And to tell you the truth, the longer that it takes for that to happen, the more brutal it might be when it hits the markets, the exchanges. They're delayed. They had this big breakup at the company. Oh my God. And everyone's just running for the exits. And the thing's down to pennies. And I told Frank at lunch today, I said, man, Frank, could you imagine this thing ICO'd essentially between 40 and 50 cents roughly. Today in its futures contracts, it's $1.80. You can't even look at that as any kind of guide, so forget it. So let's just stick with, 50 cents. Easy math. Even 40 cents is okay. I said, can you imagine if this thing goes down to below a penny, and it's a fraction of a penny, or a fraction of a penny? Couple of 1 or 2 extra decimal points over it. You know what I mean? Not 0.01 as a penny, but 0.00, maybe even another 0.01. And you and I load the boat. And then everything gets settled, and they're going to build the platform. They've hired a team. It's doing really well, and it becomes something great. and then it's roughly 2 years from that time, it goes crazy. And you or I saying, oh my God, remember when it was 50 cents, 40 and 50 cents, we got in a fraction of a penny. If it goes back to 50 cents, and it was half of a penny, you just, that's insane profit, massive profit, like sick profit. Was that 100 times? Because if it was a penny and it goes to 50 cents, that's a 50 times, not percent, 50 times profit. So if it was half of a cent, same math, 100 times whatever you put into it. So if you put $10,000, forget it, let me, I was going to say, yeah. Just because I don't want to, I'm just thinking, is that $1 million or 10 million? Hang on. I want to make sure I get this right and don't speak wrong on this one. If you put $10,000 in, worth of ETH, of course, on the exchange, 10,000, and it goes up 100 times, essentially, right? That's $1 million bucks, I was thinking. Could you imagine telling a story to anybody? Hey man, I had 10 grand, I just turned in $1 million bucks. Maybe you don't got 10, maybe you can come up with 5. That's $500,000. But I got news for you. And again, this assumes this is the coin. It assumes these ridiculously low numbers I'm giving you happens. Again, I'm just purely speculating. Let's be clear here. So let's just be real. It goes to a penny. 50 cents for what they plan on doing with this thing is a massive undervaluation of the year, of the freaking century, of the universe. This thing should be 20, 30, 50 bucks a piece, to be honest with you, doing what they claim to do later on down the road. Okay, that kind of valuation I can see. So about that thing hitting 50 cents, what if it goes to 10 bucks? 10 bucks. Oh my, you're going to be a multi-millionaire off of a few $1,000s. But that means this has to be the coin. We have to see these ridiculous, penny kind of sales prices for these things, and then we have to see in 2 years it goes up to these prices I'm giving you. I have no data whatsoever, let me tell you, that says this either way, that it's going down that low or it's going to go that high. Clif did not say anything about that. The one thing he said to describe that coin, whatever the coin was, because he didn't know at the time, is that no other coin, cryptocurrency, will matter. This is that coin you want. No other one will matter. But let's be fair with the webbot. It's not always accurate. It is been crazy accurate with cryptos. But it's 2 months behind on this one, right? Still haven't seen the Litecoin thing. Not that I'm bashing the webbot. I freaking love that thing. I'm just saying it's not always perfect, and sometimes it's just not right. We've been very lucky with cryptos in the webbot. So that's why I'm trying to tell you, I'm trying to stack everything I can. I want some of that coin, that sounds decent. I want some of those coins, token, because the way I'm looking at this, if I end up loading the boat on this coin, let's say it finally comes out in 2 or 3 months from now, it goes crap to crap like we talked about, we jump in on this thing, and then we sit back and wait. Could you imagine, again, telling someone, oh, I put $5,000, I'm a millionaire now, or half a millionaire, or better. Oh, and by the way, that's just this one thing called Tezos. I've got some Bitcoin, I've got some Ethereum, I've got some Litecoin, I've got some Pillar, I've got some this. And how are those doing? They've quadrupled practically. Or whatever, right? They're going to move all over the place. And that looks phenomenal. But this one, oh, that was the best one, right? That's going to be a story you're going to tell your kids are going to tell their kids, your kids' kids are going to, oh, great grandpa Jason 4. Got the entire family out of debt, paid his sister's house off, paid his mother-in-law's house off, got his mom and dad their own house, which I will own, of course. It'll be in my name, obviously, because my kids, you guys got some houses. When Mima and Boom Pop pass on, those are y'all's houses. Thank you. But wouldn't that be a cool thing? That, like I said, I feel one of these days I'm going to write a book on this stuff. My whole story, my foreclosure, from deadbeat foreclosed, fighting the foreclosure, to winning a settlement, to getting a house almost immediately afterwards, wiping my credit score clean like a boss. Because I fight. I will fight for what I think is fair and what I think is right. And I tell all y'all about it, keep you up to date. In case anyone else ever has to deal with that crap, I can kind of relay my story a little bit, you know? Who'd have ever thought such a ridiculous thing? You just had a foreclosure and you've got a house. Mortgaged, correct? Yeah, correct. Proved, great credit score, you're done. Yes, you got the house. Hey, it is what it is. I'd love to write a whole book on this thing. And this kind of stuff happening, if it plays out like we're talking about, you can be rest assured, Jason at 4 will be writing a book. And it may go to like bestseller just because of the insanity of this damn stuff. I mean, it's crazy. So anyways, fingers crossed that this is the coin. Let's watch it like hawks, which I'm sure you and I both are going to. And keep moving on. But see, that doesn't mean I'm stopping all this and, oh, I gotta save up. I gotta save up for this thing. What if it's not it? Oh, that's a good ICO. Oh, that one's a good ICO. I want it on that one. You're just gonna stop? You gotta treat this thing like it's your job, and you got a 401k or you got an investment retirement account, and every week or every month or every bi-weekly I put in such and such. That's what you should be doing with this. Buying some more ETH up every other week, buy some ETH every month, buy some ETH, whatever it is, even if it's a fraction of an ETH. Just keep doing. That's what you do in the stock market. It's what you do for any other retirement account. Why is this being treated differently? I think everybody just wants to take a coin, oh, it flipped into 3 times, take that, flip that into 4 times. You know, that's an unrealistic expectation, to be honest with you, right? I mean, you got to keep putting money into this stuff in order to play the game. And that's what I'm telling you. I'm trying to get in as many of these things as I can, not just any of them, but the ones I'm looking at. That one looks good, that one looks good, that one looks good, that one looks real good, you know. And I come out here and do the videos. Or, hey, you know what, let me bring this guy on, see if he wants to do an interview. Let me check out that coin. No, you want to come on? Yeah, come on, let's get some questions answered. Which, I asked everybody, hey, send me some questions next time I may interview the guy from Handline. I didn't get one question to be asked. So, whatever, but we'll see how that goes. Take care.